Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics. And a quick update before we get to today's video, because I recorded a short update about an hour ago, and the silver price has already spiked quite a bit higher than just when we recorded. So currently up 77 cents, right about noon Eastern time. And with that said, here's a quick update with some news about silver and what's going on with Kuya Silver. Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics on a silvery Monday morning, because believe it or not, price of silver actually up 34 cents. Looks like some volatile trading since the open on Sunday, but hope everybody's week is off to a good start. And this is going to be a short video, but did want to check in with the great David Stein of Kuya Silver, because David, it looks like there's some guy who talks a lot about silver who has showed up at the Kuya Silver mine. The executives, they don't know what to do with him down there, but while silver is up 34 cents today, I hear you guys have some news out, and I appreciate you dropping by and giving us a quick update on what Kuya Silver has been up to.
Well, thanks, Chris. Yeah, look, we announced on Friday, a couple days ago, that we acquired this mine that is next to Bethania, and it's actually a deal we've been working on behind the scenes for many months, and just kind of keeping it quiet. So very excited that the deal's done. It's kind of a game changer for us. It gives us a lot of new land very close to the Bethania mine that we know is mineralized, right? There's a kilometer of a vein system, at least a kilometer of a vein system that's very similar to what we have at Bethania that we can see on surface. We know that these, the former owners were going in and mining this at a small scale. So we know there's something good in there, or that's what we think. So, and then we took samples on surface and we got some very exciting results there, which are in the press release. So all told, when we think about how, the Bethania property, obviously has very exciting potential at depth and along strike, but there's a limit to that, of course, and we've just sort of blown the door off our limits by acquiring another almost identical system, just a few kilometers away. So we're very excited. Had to sort of keep this quiet for a long time. We've been working on this, but now we're done. So we're very excited to get in there and start working.
Well, it does sound like good news, especially in the midst of a hyperinflation campaign with no signs of slowing down. David, real quick, on a deal like this, what is the downside? Because I know a lot of investors here, all right, well, a company is acquiring new mineral rights. That sounds great. What are the risks that they want to make sure that, unfortunately, I think we're in good hands, because I know the way that you do things, you mitigate those risks before you do the deal, but for people so they can understand, could you touch on that for a second?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the way, we did a lot of due diligence on this beforehand, of course, but in the way that we structured the deal, I mean, really the only downside is a very small amount of cash that we paid up front on the deal, and in fact we actually arranged this deal to basically pay it off over a few 18 months. So I guess if so that actually spreads out the risk for us, for our shareholders, and so there's actually very almost in effect little or zero risk right now in terms of doing this deal.
Well, it reminds me, it's like the opposite of the U.S. government throwing darts in the wind with their treasury budget. Although, David, one last question before we wrap up. Obviously, Peru, people wonder about jurisdictional risk. Here we have some moving pieces on the run, which is always exciting. Maybe I'll go to Peru headquarters after if you draw me away from your mine door here. But what's going on with the Peru politically, and what should folks know about that?
Well, there's an election going on, which happens every so many years in every democracy. And look, Peru's been a really fantastic place to be a mining company for many years, and it's got a huge mining industry, big companies, small companies there. It was really backbone of their economy. One of the candidates is definitely sort of left leaning and talking stuff that obviously as a business person we don't like. However, I think there's been a I guess an overreaction to this, I would say, to sort of throw the baby out with the bathwater with respect to Peru. Um, First of all, they elected a really business friendly Congress back in April. And so, and that's something that I think a lot of people gloss over who just sort of see this guy, one of the candidates. He has been leading in the polls, but very slightly right now, and saying, okay, well, if this guy's getting elected, then Peru becomes the next socialist country. That's not going to happen at all. There's going to be, if this guy even does win, there's going to be huge opposition to any drastic changes from the Congress, from the almost half the population that didn't vote for him. So look, the chances of Peru just sort of flipping into overnight is very, very low. It's not zero, but it's very, very low. And so we're bullish to operate there and maybe even take advantage of this situation, like we've been able to do with doing this this acquisition now, and maybe there will be more.
Yeah, and I find, at least in my experiences, I've been following mining. Yes, it can be a roadblock, but for someone who has the expertise or gravitas to negotiate these things and realize governments want money, it's a negotiation. And so fortunately, I feel comfortable and I'll look forward to seeing how you handle that. But for folks who have questions and want to know more about what's going on, what the plan is, how you will address that, what's the best way for them to get more information?
Well, always the best place to start, Chris, is on our website, kuyasilver.com. And from there, you can, access some of the information that we have to download, and you can also contact the company. We do online meetings with some of our investors and shareholders, and if on request, and you can also send email to us as well from there.
Yeah, and I like that you filter this out. You're required to be human, so you don't have to waste your time with investment bankers. Brilliantly done, as always, sir. And folks, for anyone new to Kuya Silver, David has recorded a profile interview before where he walks through the company, gives some more information, and that is coming your way now.